Hey guys, Morgan's Maintenance. Today's tour review are going to be a couple clamps by Jorgensen. I recently picked these up off Amazon, and I think they got a couple really nice features that kind of separate them from other clamps of this style. And I really use these clamps a lot, not so much in woodworking, even though I do use them for that whenever I glue up stuff or whatever it might be. I use these a lot in the field just because, again, I work by myself, and sometimes you need an extra hand just to hold up one end of something, and you can't get any easier than, you're holding something with this end, and then you can squeeze this trigger with the other and get some good clamping force on that. And again, I've used several clamps of this type of style for quite some time. I've had a lot of Irwins before. I've also recently bought a lot of these DeWalt ones because these are the ones my Home Depot stocks, and sometimes I'm in town, I need some, and they're in my shop, and I just go ahead and go buy a set to use temporarily to hold something up. Well, these two Jorgensens here, again, they've got a couple really nice features that separate them from the other ones in my opinion. And one of those things is the build quality, because compared this one in comparison to, this DeWalt one here is a smaller size, but this DeWalt one here is very similar in size as far as the clamp. It's got a longer bar, but as far as the clamp action, it's very similar. And this one feels like it weighs substantially more. The bar seems thicker. It just feels like it's a beefier, clamp. This is my first Jorgensen clamp, and I really like it. It's the easy hold version. Again, these are going to run you 30 bucks on Amazon for the two 6-inch pairs. They've also got some 12-inch. I think they got some 24-inch. And they have a 5% off coupon, which on $30 isn't much. I think it ends up being $1.50 off. So $28.50 for two 6-inch clamps. And to me, the build quality on these seems nice. Now, they are all plastic. I believe they do sell an aluminum version, but I think you can only get that at Lowe's. You might can get it other places, but I don't think they have it on Amazon. But again, it feels really nice. The action is really good. But for the most part, all this stuff is exactly the same as any other clamp that you might own. What are the key differences with this one? Well, one is you can see that push button there. I can press this in, pull this out. I can now move it over here to this side and slide it onto the spot, push that back in, and now it's locked in place. And now it's not only just a clamp, but it's also a spreader as well. Well, again, you might say, well, that's nothing new. I've had some other ones. In fact, this DeWalt one here has the same kind of thing. It's got a button you press there. You can slide it on back and forth, make that one a spreader or also a clamp as well. So that feature is on some, but that's not on all of them, because again, this DeWalt one here, it doesn't have that option. You'd have to mess around with taking this screw and nut out to swap it around every time, and I don't think anybody's going to do that. But that definitely wasn't the most unique feature of the bunch that caused me to want to buy these. Again, I bought these. I bought two 6-inches because space saving in my truck. I don't want to carry a bunch of 24-inch ones on me that I might not use every day, but I'd like to have a set like this in my truck for in case I do need some. So again, I can press this button in, slide this off, and now I can take, and you can see that this also has dovetails on right here to where you can now slide the other one in. So if I take this one, put it backwards on this end here, push that in, lock it in place. Again, I've got this dovetail here. And now if I take this other clamp, I'm going to press that in as well, slide that off, move the dovetail this way, push that in. And now I can take both these clamps and slide them together like so. So instead of having a 6-inch clamp, I now have, I think it ends up being almost an 18-inch clamp. Let me get a tape measure real fast. So if I take those clamps and my tape measure as well and stick it there, maybe I can get that in the frame, you're looking at about 18 3/4 inches. So again, essentially you can take two 6-inch clamps. Not going to take up a lot of room in my truck, but now there's this time where I need a really big clamp. This is giving me an option to do that. Now the one thing is you're not going to be able to close this clamp all the way as you spread them together. You're going to have roughly 3.5 inches. And you might not could make it there because your hands are going to have to be inside of there, but you should be able to clamp it down there. 3.5 inches is your minimum space that you'll be able to close that to. But my guess would be if you're going to be using a bigger clamp, you're probably not going to be closing that up all the way anyways. But yeah, guys, that is the Jorgensen Easy Hold. Again, I think that this feature right here, that little dovetail action, allowing you to transform smaller clamps into a bigger clamp. Again, if you work out of a truck or a van or something like me, I think that this is a really good option to allow you to get yourself a longer clamp out of some smaller ones. But let me know in the comments below if you've had this brand of clamps before, how well they've worked out for you as far as durability wise. Because again, I can't really speak to that. These are fairly new for me. But again, as far as the feel test, they feel pretty substantial to me. They feel like probably the best quality in your hands type of thing that I felt in these style of clamps. Again, but I've only bought kind of this box brand, you know, the box store brand clamps before. I've not bought any like big names online or anything like that. But let me know what you think about these two features. If you've noticed it on any other clamps, let us know that in the comments below as well. But again, I'm just letting you know that this is out there and that's an option in case it's a useful idea for you. Let me know in the comments below. But as always, stay safe. Have a blessed day. See you on the next video.